Listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you will save you years of frustration in Forex trading. You don't lose because you lack strategy. You lose because you lack control. Control over your emotions, your impulses, and your decisions under pressure. The market is not designed to reward intelligence. It is designed to expose weakness. And if your psychology is weak, the market will find it and exploit it without mercy. I've seen traders with perfect strategies fail over and over again, not because the system didn't work, but because they didn't follow it. They hesitated when they should have acted. They acted when they should have waited. And in this game, that inconsistency is what drains your account. Here's the brutal truth. Forex is not about predicting price. It's about managing yourself, because every trade you take is a reflection of your mindset. Before we go deeper, understand this clearly. The market is neutral. It doesn't know you. It doesn't care about your goals. It simply reacts to orders, liquidity, and behavior. But you bring emotions into a system that has none. And that's where the problem begins. The first psychological trap is fear. You enter a trade with a plan. Everything looks good, but the moment price moves slightly against you, doubt creeps in. Your heart rate increases, you start questioning your analysis, and instead of trusting your system, you close the trade early. Then what happens? The trade goes exactly where you predicted, and now you're left with regret. That's not a strategy failure, that's fear taking control of your decision-making. The second trap is greed. You're in profit. Your plan says, take profit at a certain level, but you think maybe just a little more. Maybe the market will keep going, so you hold. Then the market reverses, your profit disappears, and sometimes it turns into a loss. That's greed overriding discipline. The third trap is revenge trading. This is where accounts get destroyed. You take a loss, then another. Now you're not thinking clearly anymore. You're emotional. You increase your lot size, you abandon your rules, you take trades you normally wouldn't take, because now you're not trading the market, you're trying to recover your ego. And the market punishes that behavior every single time. The fourth trap is overtrading. You feel like you always need to be in the market. You open charts constantly, looking for something, anything to trade, even when there's no clear setup. Because doing nothing feels uncomfortable. But in trading, doing nothing is often the best decision. Now, here's where most people get it wrong. They think the solution is more knowledge, more indicators, more strategies, but that's not the solution. Because the problem isn't what you know, it's what you do under pressure. A simple strategy followed with discipline will outperform a complex strategy driven by emotion. Discipline beats intelligence in trading. You can know everything about the market, but if you can't execute consistently, none of it matters. So how do you fix this? You don't fix it with motivation, you fix it with structure. First, you need rules, clear, non-negotiable rules. When do you enter? When do you exit? How much do you risk? If you don't have clear answers to these questions, you are gambling, not trading. Second, you must accept uncertainty. No trade is guaranteed. Even the best setups fail. Once you accept that, you stop trying to be right, and you start focusing on execution. Because trading is not about being right, it's about being consistent. Third, reduce your risk. Most emotional decisions come from risking too much. If one trade can significantly impact your account, you will feel pressure. And pressure leads to poor decisions. Lower your risk and your mind becomes clearer. Fourth, track your behavior. Use a trading journal. Write down every trade, why you entered, what you felt, what you did right or wrong, because you cannot improve what you do not measure. Fifth, step away. You don't need to trade every day. Some of the best traders make money by waiting for the right setup, waiting for alignment, waiting for clarity, and when it comes, they act with precision. Now let's talk about the shift that changes everything. At some point, you stop chasing profits and you start focusing on process. You stop reacting emotionally and you start following rules. You stop thinking about one trade and you start thinking about long-term consistency. That's when trading becomes simpler, not easier, but clearer. Because now you understand your role. Your job is not to control the market. Your job is to control yourself. The market will do what it does, up or down, fast or slow, but your execution must remain stable. That's what separates professionals from amateurs. Professionals follow systems. Amateurs follow emotions. Professionals accept losses. Amateurs fight them. Professionals think in probabilities. Amateurs think in certainty. And that difference is everything. Let me give you a simple perspective. If you flip a coin 100 times, you won't get heads every time, but over time, the probabilities play out. Trading works the same way. You don't need every trade to win. You need your system to work over time. But that only happens if you follow it consistently. Now, here's something most traders ignore. Your environment matters. If you're constantly checking charts, constantly reacting, you're training your brain to be impulsive. But if you create structure, specific times to analyze, specific conditions to trade, you train discipline. And discipline compounds just like profits do. Now, understand this clearly. You will still lose trades even with perfect psychology. But the difference is those losses won't destroy you. They'll be controlled, expected, managed. And over time, that's what leads to growth, because consistency is built on control. Not excitement, not hype, control. So the next time you open your charts, ask yourself one question. Am I trading my plan or am I trading my emotions? Because your answer to that question determines your future in this game. If you master your mind, you gain an edge that most traders never will. Not because you know more, but because you execute better. And in trading, execution is everything. So take this seriously. Don't just watch, apply. Because information does not change results. Action does. And your next trade is your next test. Not of your strategy, but of your discipline.